You guys are awesome. But they have no fun at all.
No, they're real serious guys.
No one's smiling.
Yeah.
They're not happy to be here.
During commercial breaks, it's all moan and groan.
I know. It's a shame.
You got 2 albums out right now.
Yes, I do. One it contains the songs that you just heard. It's called Oh My Nola, which is sort of an upbeat kind of party record. The other one is called Chanson de Vieux Carré, which is sort of a tribute to New Orleans in a different light. It uses most of these same musicians, but it's instrumental, and it's on Branford Marsalis's label, and it's a little bit more hardcore jazz than some of the stuff we just played.
And in fact, what's some of the artwork inside Oh My Nola, it's actually the album cover of Chanson, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Both albums are very similar in theme, and there's a sort of a map of New Orleans. I think you guys have a graphic of it or something.
We
but
do.
Yeah, it's
We
pretty
do.
cool. Oh, there it is.
It's,
It's just, they asked me to show some of my favorite places around New Orleans, and so there's the French Quarter, and there's the Mississippi, and all these different places that I remember growing up. So I thought that was kind of cool. I actually called the record label. I said, I'd like to get that painting, you know. I said, I'd really like to own that. And they said, man, this is 2007. It's not a painting. They did all that on a computer, so it doesn't actually exist. So I was hoping I could get it.
There is no such thing
There
as
is
a
no
painting.
such thing, right.
You talked about your travels, and you've talked about how much you love New Orleans. But other than your hometown, where's your favorite place?
You know, it's tough.
you stand next to him, by the way. I don't
Yeah,
know what
yeah.
I'm doing in between.
That's all right.
you two.
Getting
There you
in
go.
between.
There you go.
I like a lot of cities. I mean, I like playing in New York is a lot of fun. I actually like to play in a lot of cities in Canada, too. We played in Toronto the other night, which was a lot of fun. I like playing in Vancouver. Paris is a lot of fun. Going to Asia is fun, playing in... And you know what's fun, too, is Australia. We play a lot in Australia, and I think the people there are so thrilled that anybody would take that much time to actually get there. That
They so appreciate you.
I think we could almost, you know, maybe not play. These guys could not be as good as they are, and they would almost still appreciate it. They're very nice to us in Australia.
You gotta feel pretty at home here. That you've got some pretty strong Canadian connections.
I do. My great-grandmother was from Quebec, and my wife's father's from Red Deer, Alberta, so I feel like I have some very strong ties
You
to
do, and
to
we
Canada.
love you here in this country.
Oh, I love
just to let
Canada,
you know.
too. Thank you.
We do.
Thank you.
We do.
Canadian connections. I mean, as soon as you said Red Deer, Alberta, I just heard a ooh.
Yeah, that's pretty deep in the country, I guess, you know.
It is. You've been a couple times, though.
I
right?
have, yeah. My father-in-law, I was a little bit nervous when I first met him because he's 70 now, and he looks about 10 years younger than I am, and he's just an incredibly handsome man and a very, very athletic guy, and he still plays hockey about 3 or 4 times a week. And I was...
You were worried about having to lace up?
I was worried about having to lace up, man, because I should say this quietly, I don't ice skate. I'm not very good at it, and I'm probably the only person within 10 miles of here that doesn't ice skate.
About 3 feet, actually.
Just a bit.
But I tell you, he was real cool about it. I was thinking, I was actually thinking when I met him when I was 22 that maybe he wouldn't like me as much because I wasn't a hockey player. But he said, no, that's all right. He said, I like the way you play piano. So.
You were trying to make a good impression.
I was, but I couldn't hang with him, you know.
Are you listening to, who are you listening to right now that's wowing you, music-wise?
Well, I like a lot of things. You know, sometimes a song will come on the radio, you know, like, I remember when that Sexy Back song came out, I said, oh, you know,
Timberlake.
I don't know if I like that, but it's played so much that I find myself actually singing along to
You
it,
can't
you know?
help it.
Yeah, and I'm
It's
like,
on
wait
the
a minute, I want to bring Sexy back. And
You have.
oh no, I don't think I have.
Sexy didn't go anywhere.
Yeah. Listen to these two.
No, but there's all. I like to listen. There's a reason that things become classics, and I listen to everybody from Queen to George Jones to Louis Armstrong, Duke Ellington to Stravinsky. I listen to all of it just because I like what that music is. And sometimes it's hard to tell with young artists, especially in the jazz world where it takes a long time to really develop if somebody's really putting out something great. There's a lot of talent out there, but it takes a while for artists to settle in and kind of find out who they are, I think.
That's what the great ones do. They take a little bit of knowledge, a little bit from all of the genres, the masters, and they incorporate that into their own stuff.
It's true, and even outside of music. Like, I was just working on an arrangement of a song written by Louis Armstrong called Strutting with Some Barbecue, and it's all about barbecue. And when you're in New Orleans, food is very, very important. And a lot of the songs that they wrote about, just like a lot of the blues artists, it had nothing to do with music per se. It had to do with what was going on in their lives. Yeah. So, and that's what's great about being from New Orleans, is that there's so many cultural experiences that can influence you outside of music, that it's very rich and inspirational at the same time.
Well, Harry, we're like a room full of Australians here. We're really, really happy that you're here in the AM studio. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, Harry Connick Jr. right after the break.
Thanks. Wait for
And Mr. Jeff Hutchison joins us. Jeff,
I have a question.
It's a hard-hitting question.
I have a hard-hitting question.
Hard-hitting.
Do you miss Will and Grace?
Oh, wow, that's a good question. I do. You know, it was really a lot of fun getting on that show with those characters. They're extraordinarily talented people in real life. You know, they all sing. They all come from musical theater, and they're great dancers, and they're great physical comedians. And there's no wonder why they've become the success that they have, and it was really fun. Very, very fast-paced show. It's probably the most fast-paced thing I've ever done, other than music. You know.
Yeah, terrific.
Harry, thanks so much for
Thank
coming
you
in
so
once
much.
again
Oh, it was a
for the show today. And on behalf of our audience, thank you. Well, I mean, what a great intimate performance.
Thank you very much.